So in this video, we're gonna start using R. So I'm gonna show you the basics, just to give you a glimpse of on how to use R. So you have two options here. First, you can just go and download R. So you will find it here, cran.rproject.org. So you can download R, and I highly encourage you, if that's the case, to download RStudio. RStudio is just a IDE of R, so it's just it will look better. That's it. This is free software, so you don't have to pay anything at all, and it's not limited. But if you don't want to do that, that's fine. You can just go directly to the R Cloud page, which is powered by RStudio, and you will need to sign up because this is the first time. Or I think you can. No, I'm sorry. You can log in using Google, so that will be enough. So you can use even your Uninorte account. So please repeat the steps, guys, and let me know.
Professor, is the same thing if I have a MacBook?
It is the same thing if you have MacBook. Yes, you can go just to our cloud, and it will work without any problem.
Okay, thank you.
So guys, were you able to sign in into the page, all of you? Just confirm in the chat. No? Yes? Almost there? Getting closer? Far away, not interested? Give me something at least. Not yet, almost there. That's fine. That's fine. One of the problems that we're going to experience here using software is that most of the times it's going to be difficult if we do it simultaneously. Because some of you maybe you're connected from your tablet. I don't know. Or some of you are using the cell phone, so it's difficult to fit like the two windows, my window and your window when you're working. So most of the times, I guess we're gonna use a video in which we're gonna show you like how to, like the basics in how to use R and everything. But since this is the first class, it doesn't matter. So let's make the effort, and let's see if you experience any problem while using R and looking at my window at the same time. All right. So once you're here, you can create a new project. It will take some time, but not that much. So is it working for all of you guys? It is opening project. Okay, it is taking longer than expected. It's taking longer than usual, but that's fine. That's fine. Is it working for you?
Teacher, the software is the same online that download it.
Of course, if you download it, it will work. I mean, it will have the same capabilities. So don't worry. I highly encourage you to download R and RStudio. Why? Because let's say that you are in a test. If your like internet connection it's having some issues, then that will be like a big problem during the test. So it's better if you download it. But right now, since we are like in the middle of the class, I think it's more convenient to use our cloud. So to Andres is asking how to open our cloud. I use Google our cloud. I found rstudio.cloud. Then in sign in, I use my Uninorte account, like using Google. I didn't sign up at all. I am just using my Uninorte account, my Google account, my Gmail account. And once I was able to sign in, I just click on new project. After that, it will take a little bit. It took me like a couple of minutes to get here. So I'm pretty sure that most of you right now should be looking at this window. Right? No? Guys, could you please confirm? Could you please confirm? Are you all here? Let me check. Yes. All right. All right. That's great. Most of you. So this is a sample. For example, I have 3 yeses, Jose, Lina, and Natalia. That's a sample of 3 students. My population here, we have 33 students. So I'm going to make an inference. I'm going to assume that this sample is representative of the whole population. And okay, so most of you guys, most of you. That's great. That's great. Okay, so let's go to our cloud. You can name the project if you want. I don't know, like lab 1, practice 1. Any name you want to add to it. So once you're here, so this is the console. In the problem with the console, you can use the console, but the problem with the console is that it's not capable to record what you're doing. In the console, you cannot record what you're doing. That's the main issue with the console. So, for example, you can do some operations, the basics. You know, like if I want to multiply something, it will perform the operation. You can assign things. For example, I can create the variable a. I want to say that a is equal to 15, b. Here you can use different notations. You can use the equal sign, or this. I like the arrow. It's like a standard R using the arrow. But again, the equal sign will work too to assign something. And then I will make b equal to 40, so you can add them up, and that the result a plus b. Please notice that as I'm creating the variables, here you will see the objects that are being created by R. In this case, the variables a and b, 50 and 40. Now, if you want to kind of record what you're doing, a better way is to just open a script. So if you go to File, New File, the first option, File, New File, in the first option is R script. R script. So you can just open the script, and it will be like it's just like your code here, and that file is the one that you need to record for sure. That's where you have your code, the important things, the important analysis you're performing. So here you can add comments. This is the way you add comments. And you can do the same things here. For example, if you want to do the a times b, since you already created a and b, you can do a times b. And if you want to run it, you have 2 options. You can just select and click in run, or in the line where you have the code, you just go to a line and you hit Control Enter. If you hit Control Enter, you get the output. So let me check if there are questions. So Armstrong is providing some shortcuts here that I'm pretty sure that are very useful. So please, guys, use it as a resource. Even in RStudio, you will find plenty of cheat sheets, tutorials. I mean, even though we're going to use R, this is not a coding class, so don't worry. I want to ask you to, you don't have to create like a very elaborated algorithms. I'm pretty sure that most of you know the basics, but again, we're gonna use only like the some common commands some function that already exists, so you won't be required to create your own functions and things like that. So don't worry on that part. All right. So this is how you use R. Now, in R, there are some libraries and there are some data sets that are available. For example, the empty cards. The empty cards data set. So what I did is just I kind of like loaded the data set. Sometimes this first command is not required. Only if you just type the empty card, you can check only typing empty cards and just hit Control Enter to check that data frame. So please try to open empty cards. Just type empty cards. This is a data set that already exists in R in the base package. So I'm pretty sure that most of you should be able to access this data set. If you have the question mark and the name of the function or the data set that exists in R, it will give you like a description, just to understand a little bit better what are the variables here in the data set, in this data frame. So this is an old and very old data set. It was created in 1974. So what is that, like almost 50 years ago? Yes, like 45 years, 46. So here you have the variables. So mpg is miles per gallon. Sile means the number of cylinders. Displacement, the horsepower. We have the weight. We have what else? Number of carburetors. We have in total there are 11. There are 11 variables. There are 11 variables. So if you notice, we have the name of the car and the different variables here. So let's analyze the first 4 variables. So first thing, guys, I want you to analyze the first 4 variables. I want you to just tell me if they are quantitative, qualitative, and what type of variables they are. If they are continuous, they are discrete. So just let me know. I want to check the chat. So let me know the first 4 variables of the data set, which type of variables they are.
Sorry, teacher. Can you repeat, please?
Yes, of course. I'm just asking, when you visualize the data set, the empty cars data set, the data frame, the first 4 columns represent the first 4 variables. mpg, miles per gallon. Sile, this is the number of cylinders. This is the displacement. I don't know what the displacement is, guy, to be honest. So maybe the mechanical engineers can help me a little bit with the displacement, if you know what is that. And the HP means the horsepower. So does any of you know the displacement meaning? I haven't Googled it, I haven't checked the definition. My question is, please only just tell me what type of variables are these, if they are continuous or discrete.
I think that is a variable the type of continuous.
All of them, the 4 variables.
No, the number of cylinders is discrete.
So let's go in order. So what about the first one, miles per gallon?
It's a quantitative continuous.
It is continuous, right? Miles per gallon, it's continuous. Yes. Now the cylinders, you said that it's discrete. That's correct. It's discrete. If you check the values, they are discrete. The displacement. So guys, do you know what is the meaning of the displacement? But even if you don't know, what type of variable is this? Just check the values. It looks continuous, right? It looks continuous, but right, it has decimal, so it's a measurement of something. And the fourth variable, the horsepower, HP, in the format right now, it looks discrete, right? At least
But
the way that,
it also can be continuous, I think.
oh, it can be. I'm not sure of that. I'm not sure of that. I'm just talking about at least this column. But it is possible that it's continuous in general. I don't know that. So if you know that, please, guys, confirm. I don't know that. At least by looking at the numbers.
Be discrete.
In this case, it looks discrete.
Yeah.
But someone just said that maybe in real life, in other cards, I don't know, in newer car, more recent cars, it might be continuous. I don't know if that's true. All right. So let's explore those observations. So what we can do here is like R has some functions that can help us to summarize the data. But one function is summary. It's a popular function. With the summary, you get some meaningful statistics from the data. So just apply the function summary to empty cards. And I will show you some basic statistics that we're going to discuss tomorrow. So we'll show you the minimum value, the quartiles, first quartile, third quartile, the median, the mean. I'm not going to get into the details right now, but I want to show you that the summary function gives you an overview of each variable in the data set. So you have for miles per gallon, and you know the minimum value, maximum value, mean, median. Same thing with cylinders, displacement, horsepowers, and the remaining variables. So you can get a better idea of these variables. So this is why we use descriptive statistics. We use descriptive statistics to summarize data in different ways. So far we have seen tables and plots, but right now we're just visualizing these metrics that, again, they give us some insight about our data set. Now we can use some interesting tables here, interesting plots to analyze the data. Now, if we can create tables and plots. So, for example, if I want to summarize the data for the cylinders, so the way we do that, it's empty cards, and if I want to make reference of one variable, I use here the dollar sign. So if you use the dollar sign, it will show us what are the variables or the columns that are available in that data frame. So in that case, let's see the cylinders. So it will show us a very simple table that it has only 3 values. I mean, the cylinders, there are cars with 4 cylinders, 6 cylinders, or 8 cylinders. And here we have the frequencies, 11, 7, and 14. So this is only a table with a single variable, the cylinder, but it is possible to create tables with multiple variables, like a bivariate table. That's possible. All right. Another thing that we can do is like we start visualize. We can start to plot our data to see how it looks. So we can create some histograms. So we can create a histogram, empty cars, the variable that we want to visualize. For example, the cylinders. And here we get we get the histogram. You can zoom it if you want. Just click zoom, and it will show you the plot. And we already knew that there are only 4 values: 4, 6, and 8. 4, 6, and 8. You can, if you want, you can download that plot here, export. You can download it, save as an image, save as PDF. If you need to export it, you know, like or just copy and paste it. Guys, please create a histogram. Create a histogram for MPG, miles per gallon, displacement, and horsepower. Create a histogram for the 4 variables. For one of those values, create one histogram. So while you do that, please let me know if you have questions. How are you doing, guys? I need to get some feedback from you. Are you doing well? I see here Andrea. She said something from the internet. Engine displacement is the combined swept volume of the pistons inside the cylinders of an engine. It's calculated from the bore, diameter of the cylinders, stroke, distance, the piston travel, and number of cylinders. All right, that's a technical definition. So, but it looks that it's a measurement, right? It is a measurement. So, yeah, it has to be continuous for sure, the displacement. Guys, how are you doing with R? Could you please say something at least, or maybe using the chat? Is it simple? How are you doing with the, who wants to share? Who wants to share? Maybe show us the plots, the 4 plots. Lina says that it's working perfectly, no problems. It's working good. All right. Guys, who can share? Who wants to share the plots? It won't take that long. You just have to maybe just present only 1 minute. Just show me a plot and share with the other students, and that's it. It shouldn't take more than 1 minute.
I can share my screen.
All right, go ahead. I just stopped mine, so please share yours. Okay, so Jose Hernandez is going to show.
Teacher, Santiago is my last name.
Jose Santiago, yes. Okay, so that's the histogram for the horsepower. All right, that's for the cylinders. Let's see the next one. That's for the MPG. So please notice that the MPG, they are close to each other. They are closer because that's a continuous variable. Keep going. That's for the displacement. And the last one, that's for the horsepower. Thank you, Jose. That's what I wanted to see. We can even, if you want, guys, it is possible to change maybe the title, to change, adjust a little bit the excess. That's possible, just to make it look better. So let me share now my screen. So, for example, in the histogram, the main, I can add with comma. There is one common, one parameter is called main. That's the title. Since it's text, so I'm going to use the question mark, the quotation marks. I'm going to call it only histogram, or and if you want, you can change also the x-axis. It looks bad. It's like, it looks like that's the name of the variable with the data set. So it looks weird. So that's just the label, right? So you can change the x label. So instead of the empty cars, dollar signs, cylinders, we just can leave it as this one. And you rerun the plot, so it looks a little bit better, cleaner, at least. So you can make the same thing with the other with the other plots, if that's what you want. All right, so let's check other plots. So far, the histogram, it's for a single variable mainly, right? For a single variable with many levels. But in some cases, maybe you want to see the relationship between two variables. You want to see the relationship between two variables. That's possible. You want to see like a trend or something. Now, how do you think is going to be the relationship? That's a question between the miles per gallon and the horsepower. So how do you think is going to be that relationship between the miles per gallon and the horsepower? How do you think is that relationship? Try to analyze the behavior of the miles per gallon versus horsepower. Let's plot, let's visualize it, and then maybe you will make a quick conclusion of that. So the plot helps us to visualize data. So please notice that the first parameter is x and then y. It doesn't matter the order. What really matters, I mean, if you are going to switch the order, just make sure that you say y is equal to this value and x is equal to this value. I'm going to make it explicit. So for me, x is going to be the horsepower. NT cars. This is horsepower. And the y-axis, the y variable, for me is going to be a miles per gallon. So we plot it. Guys, can you see any pattern here? Can you see any pattern here? I'm just plotting, again, the horsepower in the x-axis and the miles per gallon in the y-axis. Do you spot any trend in the plot? I can zoom it for you.
Teacher, but it's
yes.
a dot plot, all right?
No, this is a dispersion plot. This is not a dot plot, because the dot plot it's only for one variable, and here I'm using two variables, if you notice. So in the examples that we covered so far, those tables were for a single variable, right? Were for a single variable. So in this one, I'm combining two variables, and we're trying to analyze if there is like a relationship between the two variables, if you can identify a pattern here. So what happened as the number of horsepower increases? If the horsepower increases, what's happening with the miles per gallon? What do you say, guys? What's
It's
happening?
It decrease.
It decreases, right? It decreases. That's correct. As the horsepower increases, the miles per gallon it's decreasing, and it makes sense, of course, because if your car has a more powerful engine with more horsepower, then we expect that the gas consumption is going to be higher, right? Therefore, the miles or kilometers that you're able to drive per gallon is going to decrease. So it makes sense. It makes sense, right? That's why we use descriptive analysis. That's why we use plots. That's why we visualize data. So this is what data analysis is about. It's about getting a table, getting some data, and try to get some meaningful information about the data. Try to convey some relevant insights. Guys, do you have any questions so far? Do you have any questions so far? How do you like R? Is it too complex? Is it too easy? I think it's nice, but do you find it useful?
Yeah, useful, but at the same time, we need to know more about how it works.
How to what? How to? You need to know more. You need to know what?
For example, how his work, what we need to put there to make a graphic, or
Oh,
we
of course.
want to,
Of course,
yeah,
that's fine. That's normal. I mean, this is the first time, like we have been using her for 20 minutes, 30 minutes right now. So it is normal, of
yeah,
course.
it's right.
Yeah. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's a matter of practice mainly. So do not worry about, yeah, it's not a big challenge, to be honest. But it is normal that the first couple of times that you use it, you will get a little bit clueless on how to use it. But once we practice a little bit more, things are gonna get better as we practice here. All right, so let me show you maybe a couple more tips here. We can create this plot in different ways, guys. We can use different ways. Maybe a different format for this plot, but it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's just using a different notation. So it's like miles per gallon, the tilde sign, HP, and now I have to let R know where the data comes from. So I say data comes from empty cards, and it will create the same plot. What I like, it's like I'm getting right away the names of the axes correctly. But again, it's the same. It's just a different way to create the plot. So it's just Y versus X, and then where the data comes from, the name of the data set. And that's it. That's the way in which R identifies where these variables are located. All right, another thing here, guys, is that so far we have used the dollar sign as a way to represent the variables, but there are different ways. And actually, if you know how to code in Python, Java, MATLAB, or any other software, I'm pretty sure that you have used a different notation, maybe with some brackets and the numbers inside the brackets. So here you can use the same thing. So for example, we know that the variable of the MPG here is located in the first column. So in the notation, empty cards, if I open the brackets, so the first parameter or the first value represents the row, and the second one represents the column. So if I say, for example, 1, 1, that means the first row, the first column. So that will give me only one value, 21. So that should be the miles per gallon of the first car. So if I go to a table, to original table, please notice the miles per gallon of the first car, which is a Mazda R4, it's 21. So it matches the value because I'm getting that observation, the first row, first column. Now, if instead of getting only one value, I want to get, let's say, the whole column. I want to get all the values of the miles per gallon. So I can just leave it blank. If I leave it blank, it means all the rows in the data set. So if I hit Control Enter, then I'm getting the cylinder values, the miles per gallon values for all of the cars in the data set. Or if you want, you can get a subset of them. That's possible. Let's say that I want to get only the first 5 cars. The cylinders of the first 5 cars. Like, we can do that easily. It's just from 1 to 5, give me the first column. And that will show us the miles per gallon of the first 5 cars. Or maybe you want like some specific rows. That's possible too. Let's say we want the 3rd row, the 5th row, and the 10th row. If that's what you want, the notation will change a little bit. So we know that the column is number 1. But what is changing is that you need only a subset, 3, 5, and 10, I think. So the way you do that, it's with a vector. So we need to concatenate some values. That's why I use the C. The C means like to concatenate. So that will be 3, 5, and 7. I'm sorry, and 10. So I want to get only 3 specific rows. Because what you do, you get the miles per gallon of the third car, the fifth car, and the 10th car. So this is how you subset a data set here, a data frame. Guys, do you have any questions so far? Do you have any questions so far?
Now, teacher, is
No
clear.
questions.
Clear.
All right, it's clear. That's great. Okay, so you see now we can do like way more interesting things that you can imagine. But before we proceed, I want you guys to practice a little bit more, like how to analyze data and how to import data, how we can load data that comes from outside. So let's do something a little bit more interesting. In R, we have other data sets. We have other data sets that we can load, but let's try to do something different. Let's try to find, let me see if we can find a different data sets. And let's do our first, maybe like a first assignment. All right, so there is an activity. It's not an activity, it's like a project that is called TD Tuesday. In TD Tuesday, every single Tuesday, a data set is uploaded. And the idea is that the community, our community, they use that data set to practice. So I don't know, guys, if you use Twitter or you are more like Instagram guys or TikTok, I don't know. But in Twitter, there is like a big community of R. So there are a lot of R users. I'm pretty sure that in Python too, same thing. You will find a big community in R, in Twitter, I'm sorry. So you will find a lot of people, they share what they do with the data sets that are available. They share it here on Twitter. So what I want you now, guys, what I want you to do is like, let's try to work together in TD Tuesday. I want you to please, let's work in groups. Let's work in groups. So let me check how many of you are here. So we have 32 students. 32 students. So I want to create like, let's create maybe groups of 4 students, 32. Yeah, let's create groups of 4 students. 4 students. So let's just, we can do it just randomly. For example, I will say if there are 4 students per group, so we have 8 students, 8 groups in total, right? So let's do a following. As I call your name, please type the number that I say. For example, Alberto Amaris is number 1. So please in the chat, Alberto, type number 1. Then we have Armstrong is number 2. Ana Manjarres is number 3. Andrea Diaz, number 4. Andres Triana, number 5. Andres Mesa, number 6. Andres Orostegui, number 7. Ángel Manjón, number 8. Anuar Gutierrez, number 9. Anuar Córdoba, number 10. Carlos Chemas, I'm sorry, number 10 and number 9 does not exist, guys. That's I have to, I'm sorry, I was just like counting, but we need to restart the counting process. So Anwar is not 9, Anwar actually is 1. Anwar is 1, yes, I'm sorry, Anwar Gutierrez is it's 1, and Anwar Cordova, let me see, yeah, Anwar Gutierrez is 1, and Anwar Cordova is number 2, yes, that's correct. All right, then Carlos Chemas, number 3, Danilo Jimenez, 4, Dark Knight, 5. Who is Dark Knight? Dark Knight, you haven't introduced yourself. Dark Knight is number 5. But I don't know if Dark Knight's here or if you can add your real name, that would be better for me at least. Okay, so at least for now I'm gonna leave you in blank because I don't know who's Dark Knight. Then Diego Florian is 5, Javier Garcia 6, Johnny Perez 7, Johnny Rivera 8, Jose Santiago 1, Jose Gonzalez 2, Juan Peña 3, Juan de la Cruz 4, Juliana Mesa is 5, I think. I lost the number. Yes. Lina 6, Michael 7, Maria Peña 8, Natalia Salazar 1, Natalia Jimenez 2, Pedro Jimenez 3, Randy 4, R. Garcia, I don't know who's R. Garcia, would be 5, Sebastián Montes 6. I don't know if someone is missing group right now. I don't know if someone else is missing the group. So this is what we're gonna do. Someone? No, that's fine. I mean, if you have the number, that's fine. That's fine. If you have the number, don't worry. Just go with the number that you have. Don't worry about that. So guys, this is what we're gonna do. The first 8 students that created that set the number, that means from 1 to 8, the first 8 students, I will ask you guys to create a Google Meet link and just mention the number of the group, and the other students with that number are gonna connect, are going into that link. So this is what we're gonna do. Right now is 4:55. 4:55. So I'm gonna give you 25 minutes. I'm gonna give you 25 minutes. So what we're gonna do right now is like each group, you will go to TD Tuesday, the TD Tuesday webpage. Just Google it. Just find TD Tuesday. There is a GitHub account. They have the data, and just go to the date of this year. So these dates represent the week in which the dataset was uploaded. Pick anyone.
Can you share the link in the chat, Mr. Please?
I can share it, of course. Just let me check that it works.
Teacher,
Yes, I listen to you.
in my group, I have only 3.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine, guys. Don't worry. That's not a problem at all.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the link. I'm gonna, guys, do not disappear yet. Do not disappear yet. You can create a link, but please do not go right now. Just let me show you what you're gonna do. You're gonna go to this link. They have the data set, the description of the data sets here. They have different topics like Australian fires, songs, like San Francisco trees, NFL attendance, hotel bookings, carbon footprint, measles vaccination, NHL goals, The Office, if you like the TV show, traumatic brain injury, beer production, Tour de France. So it's, as you can see, we have a lot of variability here. I mean, a lot of like options. Animal Crossing, I guess that's the game. Beach volleyball, volcano eruptions, and all of these are real data sets. All of them are real data sets. So what you're gonna do as a group, just pick one, whatever you want. So for example, I'm gonna pick the Animal Crossing one. As I go to the Animal Crossing, I haven't played this game yet, but I have heard of it. So as you go here, they have the information. Just find a CSV file. CSV file. Just find a CSV file. Here they show how they clean the data. That doesn't matter. Just find a CSV file and see if you can download it. Let me see if you can download it. I don't know. Let me check if it's easy to download here. No, let me check. Let me check where you can download it, because I don't want to send you to the blank.
In Forget, we can forget the project.
On top of this, you mean here in Fork? But I'm trying to find what is the oh, here. I'm sorry, here. Look at here. Here we have the CSV files. This is what I need, the CSV files. So let me check one at least. I'm gonna download this one. Let me see if I can download it easily. So if I forget, how can I download? I haven't downloaded from here yet.
Okay, GitHub don't accept to download the documents, but in the top you have an option that is raw. You can click and copy the document and notes you have to paste and save with the extension.
Oh,
raw.
So we're saying,
in the right.
This one. So what you're
Yes.
So just go to raw. Select the whole thing.
Control A, yeah. Copy and open notes.
Thank you very much. So you said Control A, Control copy, and you just add it to in a note. You said.
Yes.
And just save it as CSV, right?
Control Shift S, yes. And put the extension CSV.
So it's CSV. So let's practice a little bit. So I'm gonna call it, I don't know, like practice.csv, and the type,
yes,
like this.
Yes.
What about this coding? I will leave it as it is.
Codification is the regular.
All right. So let's see if it. So now I'm gonna check if it works.
Yes.
So what I will ask you guys to do is, like, once you have recorded the file, you can upload it. So if you go to files here, upload here in iCloud, you need to find the file. So I call it practice.csv. It's here. All right. So now we need to read the file. So the way we do that is that, what I like to, in my opinion, this is the easiest way. So I need to, in the session, I set the working directory as the project directory. That means that if I just use the name of these files, I don't need to use the whole path to get to the file. So now to read it, I'm going to create a data frame. You can give whatever name you want to the data frame. So you can call it, for example, datos, if that's what you want, datos. I'm going to read that .csv file. That's why I was looking for the CSV file. The parameter here is file. That's the name of the file. Since I already defined the session as my working directory, if I hit tab, the tab button, look, when I hit the quotation marks and then I hit tab, it will show me what are the files that are located in my working directory, which is the project session. So I will use practice.csv. I'm gonna check if it's working right away. Sometimes it doesn't work right away. You need to perform a little bit of cleaning, but let's see. I'm using the summary. So it is working. It is working. It's showing me like that the variables are number of ID. Well, this is a number only, but this is the ID. It's saying that it's a character. Then we have different variables here. So if you want to check if your data it's right, you can open it here directly. So I'm gonna open the data frame, and I need to check that every single variable is located into each column. So right now, as you can see, it is working. So it's working correctly. Sometimes if you don't, you will get only one column. That means that your variables are not being read properly. So you will need to add other parameters, and I will show you how to do that later. But for now, guys, what I want you to do for every single group is just please pick any other a different data set if you want. Download it as who was the one who was guiding me? I don't know who was the one who was guiding me and how to
Me, Armstrong.
Armstrong, right? With like how to copy the raw data, paste it into the block de notas, and then record that those CSV. Upload it. Once you upload it, you need to make sure that you read it into your R document. And what I want you to do, guys, is just please analyze each variable. So just let me know what type of variable it is, and create at least a couple of plots, and then you will share it with the other students here. So I will give you 20 minutes. I will give you 20 minutes to every single group. I will be visiting you. I will give you 5 minutes and I'm gonna start visiting each group, and then we're gonna come all together here after 20 minutes. So right now it's 5:04. So I will see you guys at let's say 5:25. At 5:25, you have to come back again to the session, and we will see what you found. If you had any issues, again, I will be visiting you, and you can ask me questions, or you can ask Armstrong if you have questions about the downloading part. Guys, do you have any questions so far? Is it clear what you have to do right now? I'm gonna stop the recording, but please let me know if you have any question.